it means a lot to be making laps around here in a Cup car. It meant a lot to put race cars back on the track last year.
We gathered some good information. Yeah, it's really slick out there. The track has a lot of character to it. Yeah, but for the most part, pretty happy.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. The track was a good time. I'm really glad that we have the original surface here. I think that was a big part of making sure that this is as good as possible and putting on a good show for the All-Star. I think we've talked about it plenty through the years, but repaves are hard to get back to good racing for a good period of time.
Certainly, I think at a place like this, it'll be in the hands of the driver. They're going to have to take care of their car. They have to have it dialed in when they start for sure too. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's really slick out there.
I love the surface. It was rough. There's no grip. We're sliding around all day. Groove's narrow right now. Only 3 cars on track, 3 trucks yesterday. It's going to be really hard to get it to widen out until we get everybody out here.
Yeah, you definitely can. Into turn 1 and 2, it's easy to miss that corner by overdriving it. You kind of want to make sure you're disciplined down there. 3 and 4 is pretty self-explanatory. You try and hook that seam down there on the bottom and keep yourself down there. But yeah, it's got some character there, and it just naturally carries you off in the corner too fast.
Best way I can compare it is Berlin, Michigan. Little track up there from ARCA Racing. Places like this, it's how all of us grew up racing was short tracks where you had little goofy things about them. They weren't perfectly symmetrical. They weren't nice and smooth from the apron all the way up to the fence. They had little cracks in the racetrack you had to avoid.
Yeah, you don't usually see, when a driver's having fun when they keep running. If they're not, they come in pretty quick to complain about something. So yeah, a lot of long runs today, learning about the track, seeing the tire fall off, the little grooves that you can find to try to find any kind of edge. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. You got to keep that car on the bottom and really take care of your tires at this place, and should create some interesting racing for sure.
Just a lot of bumps, a lot of cracks. The track's really unforgiving. You have to really take care of your car and your tires on this track, 'cause they'll just eat the tires up if you're not careful. A lot of tracks are almost, you could almost argue, made too perfect. Not a lot of errors or whatever they might be. But for me, the tracks that I really enjoy are the ones that wear out and gain character. Places like Charlotte, places like this one here. I mean, the front stretch is downhill, the back stretch is extremely uphill, and the 2 corners act completely different because of that as well. So places like that are just really fun. I grew up dirt racing in a lot of different places that had a lot of character like that too. And tracks like that just stand out.
I mean, it's challenging. It's got a lot of character to it. Kind of like the signs that you see, the patina, the track has that too, and it's rough and gritty, and you got to try and take care of your tires.
It reminded me of Bristol dirt more than anything, but I mean, with the next gen car, that's the only thing I can kind of compare it to. But I come from dirt racing. That's a large part of why I just said that.
There's a lot of history at this place. My dad raced here. He was able to win a late model race here and take an elevator ride. A lot of good memories. And for me as a kid, I've always driven by here and kind of looked at this place as a ghost, because I just don't remember the times that we've had here. But I've heard it from my family, the friends, my grandfather, everybody at RCR. And to finally get that opportunity to get on track in front of a sold-out house, it's going to be awesome. It's just right down the road from home, so it feels like home. It's beautiful up here. I feel like once you get up here, you better be expected to stay up here, because it's going to be a crowded place. I'm excited about it, though.
I think the last time they raced here, I'd just been born. So I mean, in my lifetime, I was never really old enough to get to come here and watch races. But certainly, especially during the pandemic, when our sport was shut down, I watched a lot of races from back in the heyday, and a lot of races at this venue right here. So yeah, back then it was hope and dream that we would get back here, and over the course of the next 2 or 3 years, it became a reality, and we're here. So yeah, this place has a lot of characteristics to it. I've always really enjoyed going back and watching the races. Never thought I'd get to race here in real life. So for me, again, I'm pretty young, but still, this place is really special. It's really cool, and I mean, yeah, it's been really injected with some new life with how they've really cleaned up the infield and everything, and yeah, it's pretty cool making the drive over here. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It reminds me of places that we raced at growing up on dirt, and so yeah, it's pretty special.
I'm about halfway one of the older guys around here anymore, and this is still just a little bit before my time too, right? So there's a lot of young drivers that have no clue why this is a big deal, and I'm kind of right there in the middle that I understand how awesome this place has been in the past, what it has meant to our sport, how many Hall of Famers have made laps and won races at this racetrack, and for it to just sit here for so long. I say a lot of us drive right by it on the way to Bristol every year, and you sit there and look at it from 421, watching the trees grow through the stands and watching it just fall to nothing, and it's just been a shame to see it deteriorate through a long period of time.
As a child, like driving by here all the time, and I came here in 2010 and did a music video with Tim Duggar, just driving a truck around here. It's cool to see the progress that they've made, and that Marcus and SMI have taken this as a challenge and really made it beautiful again. I mean, they're going to have it prime and one of those places that you want to come and visit. Hopefully this is like a Masters kind of for us as NASCAR, like an Augusta feel, that old time classic that you want to come watch. And Darlington has that feel, and this place is going to have it too.
When you think of where the sport came from, yeah, it's been a long time now, but I think it's great that we recognize our history and we're tapping into it, and we are able to really thankful this place was still here and it was still salvageable, savable, to where we could bring it back to life and race on this surface the surface that it was 27 plus years ago. So yeah, that really excites me. We're in a weird place. It's exciting time with the new car, the next gen car, and being able to bring it to new places like this and see the tire fall off and the handling come into play is kind of nostalgic of what NASCAR racing used to be.
I'm pretty sure they're probably a little upset that there's only 3 of us doing it, but they get tests to go other places that were racing for points. So this was kind of the last spot we got to choose from, and I was excited to come here because it's nice to go race for $1 million.